Hey everyone, Nicole here with CellBotics, and I'm on a Zoom call with Issa, one of our students out of North Carolina. She graduated around, how many months have you been out? We haven't even talked about that.
January.
January of 2020.
This year, 2020.
Okay, there we go. So whenever you're watching this, January 2020, okay? So we are now in July 2020, so that's 7 months. And she has been really, really busy and was so nice enough to do a Zoom call to just talk about her perspective on where she's at, where she started, and just kind of give her input on, what you should expect and, maybe something that you might encounter. We like to do these videos with our students because all of them seem to be doing something different. And so we hope that it motivates and informs some of you out there that are looking to get into it. You can see just people's different paths that they've taken. So talk a little bit about what you did before you got into phone repair and what kind of made you want to get into phone repair.
So before I got into phone repair, right before I had a job as a robotics teacher.
Oh, nice.
So I used to teach at a local university.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. Okay. And so how did you come to the conclusion of phone repair?
Well, when you work for, universities or schools or anything, sometimes the budget is not there. So your job is not 100% secure. So you have no control over that.
Right.
And my job was cut. And I thought, I need something where I have control over, and I need something that's practical. I need something that everybody uses. Right. And I looked at my daughters and their phones, and I looked at my husband on his phone, and I'm like, phone repair.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people do that. They'll come in like, I had one student here last week and he paid $350 to get his Samsung unlocked.
Oh my God.
Yes, he said after I paid for it, I went and booked your course. And I was like, wow, they really charged a lot there, but people play it all day long. So that's great. And we're actually going to touch on that because you do think that that's a valuable thing that they should learn. So, okay, so you came down from North Carolina to South Carolina. You took our course. How long did you wait to start? Like, right when you left class, like, can you remember, like, what was the first repair you ever did? Was it a family member? How did it go? What were your nerves like? What happened?
Okay, so I, after the course, I think it took 2 weeks to get all the stuff,
right?
All my gear, all my equipment. By February, I had my LLC. By mid-February, I was in a local store. So I work out of a Mexican store.
Great. I love it. That's exactly where I want to be.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay overhead. I'm starting out. So
you just went to a store and approached them, or did you know the owners, or you just walked in and?
So I used to go to their restaurant. So there's a restaurant right next door. So I was a customer, and they had told me, they're like, oh, we bought the store next door. And I was like, wow, hey, you wanna offer phone repair? And they were like, yeah. And it just came, it organically happened. I had it in my mind. They were ready to start. So I just went up to them, and my husband and I made a contract, and we're in the store.
How much do they charge you for rent? I mean, is it a lot of money, or is it a little bit of money, less than what a full space be?
So I have a little kiosk. I have a little thing, and I have my little poster and everything.
$100 a month, probably. That's great.
Right. And they charge me $200 a month.
That's awesome.
So that was before COVID.
Okay, before COVID, pre-COVID here.
Right. And I started talking and promoting my stuff. A lot of people wanted screen protectors. And I did, my first phone was an iPhone 8 Plus.
Okay. And what did you do on it?
Oh, well, I had bought the little laser thing. So they came in for a regular screen repair, and I talked them into screen and back glass. And,
okay, so you did an upsell. I like that.
Yeah, I was like, hey, for the same price, and they were like, charging me triple that at the local store, the local repair store. And I was like, hey, I got you. Right. So that was my first repair. And for a while there, so they go in phases. So I got a lot of 8+s for a while. Then I got 8s, 7, and 6s. So
Those are mine right now too. That's what I'm seeing come in more now too.
Right. I got one iPhone X, the 10.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of Samsungs, so iPhones are good.
Good. Yeah. I like iPhones. So you're doing the glass backs. That's great. So you actually went and got the laser that we talk about in class. That's awesome. Yeah.
Like the minute that I got out of class, I ordered that.
Right. I mean, you know what? I really want it, but I'm so busy and I'm just like, I outsource it, you know, and I'm just like, I want it because it's like a cool gadget, but then I'm like, you know, we do a lot of commercial repair here. So it's like, we have our devices for a while, so we don't actually have to do them on spot. And we don't make as much per device as you do retail. It's like, do I really want to deal with that?
It's you know, I had to justify it. So
Right.
I can do engraving. That's about
That's awesome.
the next. I can do designs on the phone if they want designs. You know,
Right.
that's the next. That's
Are you doing activations like we talked about in class?
No.
Nice.
So I am not into the software stuff, especially with iPhones.
You mean like carrier service, like Straight Talk, Simple Mobile?
No, but the store I'm in does.
Okay, so you won't be able to because that'd be a conflict. Okay.
Right. So we have in our contract, we have certain things that I cannot do. I cannot sell phones because they want to sell phones.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
But it's a start.
Okay. It's a start. I'm so happy that you found that because I mean I've only had a couple of students do that. I had one student partner with a thrift store, you know, and he did fabulous out of there. So I just think it's great that you were able to find a space and it got you busy really quickly. You know what I mean? And so that's awesome. And I know since then you have really expanded on your skill level. So some people do that. Some people, for those of you that are watching this, will come to our course and we are for beginners. So it's like getting you just thrown into everything, like all the contacts, introducing you to different parts of the industry, different avenues that you can go to, and teaching you to do the basic repairs outside of micro soldering. And so I know that Issa is actually, she took advantage of one school that we told her about, which is like a software school, which you can elaborate on a little bit. You do feel like that's valuable doing unlocking and things like that, flashing and, right.
Yes. So
it's online. So when we give you that information, you'd be able to just go online. It's very inexpensive and be able to use that too.
Yeah. It's in that book. It's in
right. It's in the CellBotics
book that he gives us. And I was looking through it and I was like, you know what, let me check this out. So I think that was very valuable because some guy came in for Samsung unlocking and there I was, and I was just doing exactly what I followed the video and it took me 5 minutes.
What did you make on it?
So I'm starting out, so I'm kind of
lower price, right? I understand.
So I charge $40 for 5 minutes.
Got it. Okay, that works for me. Where else could you make $40 for 5 minutes?
Right, and they were like, wow, and I was like, yeah.
I love it. It's okay. Don't feel bad about you're working it up. We had COVID. If it wasn't for COVID, you'd probably be so much more farther along right now. But COVID kind of slows everything down. Now shops actually have been very busy. So it's just because you started right and then the COVID hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're on track to be doing all sorts of things. I know you went and did some micro soldering. You're actually getting into screen refurbing. So we talked about that in class too. And then we were able to give you a bunch of screens for you to practice on. So you'll be doing glass refurbing. That's awesome. Did you like all those? It was a lot, right?
I'll be busy for a while here. I'm going to get really good.
Yeah, and then I gave you some boards that the students broke in class. So you already fixed mine. I was like, what?
Yes. And that was that class, that software class that you mentioned.
Right. Oh, good. And yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So you've made money back from the investment that you put in the class.
Right. Yes.
A lot of people worry about that. They're like, I'm going to spend all this money and then I'm not going to make my money back. Like it's the biggest thing for them. And I'm like, no, you're going to make your money back and you're going to make more than your money back, you know?
Yeah. So what they need to understand is that you get what you put in. If you put in the time and you put in the effort and you're genuinely working at it, you're going to get that back. So if you just take the course and you're like, we'll see, you're not going to get anything back. You got to be actively involved in it. You got to work You got to learn. You got to get new experiences. You got to be out there. You got to put yourself out there. And if you're going to fail, then you're going to fail. Just get up again.
But everyone I've seen like you that puts their money and their effort where their mouth is doing it. Like, I don't have any students that have done everything and aren't making money, you know? Like, it's impossible. Yeah. Like, the jobs are there, the money is there. And, you know, as long as you put that information, you put your effort in there and you try to do your advertising and marketing and talking to people. See, the thing about you're in a Hispanic market area, which that's where I really thrived at when I had my flea market spaces, my 7 spaces. And it was because it's very word of mouth.
Exactly.
And that is really helpful as far as advertising dollars, And so I did have advertising dollars with my retail spaces, but much like you, I was just very determined with treating my customers right. Mm-hmm. And I know that you've had some issues like in the beginning during your learning process where you've messed up some things. I've done that too. Yeah. But you take care of your customer, right?
Yes. So that is key. That is key because I am working with word of mouth. So every phone that comes into me, I give it in at least the same or better conditions. The customer never loses with me at all. So they never leave with a feeling like, oh my God, I am never going back there. They get better. So I offer like a screen protector with every customer I get. They come in, they come back, their phone. I like the wow when I give them
they got a tempered glass and it's like, oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, I took my daughter with me to turn in a phone and everything, and I was like, just look at the customer when they open up the phone, and she was like, oh, yeah. Because they open up the phone and like, wow, and that's what you're looking for.
That's what you're looking for. Oh my God, I love that. That's so what I preach to people. I'm like, even if it's like cleaning the little edges with a wipe, like getting the grum and grout off of it that's left on their phone from like their back and everything in their case. It takes maybe 5 minutes of effort, but the wow factor, like you can really wow someone with that. So
I remember that from class. So
Well, thank you. Dropping those little nuggets, you know what I mean? Do you have any other suggestions or anything else you would like to say if you were talking to someone with no idea what they're doing, but they want to work for themselves? Anything else that you would like to personally say to them?
Just have confidence in yourself. Don't be afraid to go out there. Don't be afraid to take the risk. Don't be afraid to buy the equipment and work on it.
And, you will mess up things, but you have support.
Right.
You have people there to kind of help you through it, and it may happen, it may not happen, but don't be afraid of that because eventually you get over that hill.
Just learn from it. That's the thing, you learn from it. And I do appreciate that I can text you when I'm in the situation like, oh my God, what did I do? Help. And you're very quick to answer. I appreciate that so much because sometimes you're in a situation, you're like, whoa. And I love that we can text you and that you text right back. You're on the ball.
Hearing from you guys. And I'm very direct, and sometimes text is hard to tell if I'm in a good mood or not, but I'm always happy to hear from you guys and help you. I just like to get to the answer. I'm just like, what is the problem? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because all of a sudden I adapt your emergency. I'm like, oh shoot, the vote, I feel the stress. Like, it's very strange. It's like, as soon as a student texts me and they have a problem, I immediately feel the stress. And I'm like, I am just as worried about it as you are. And I just want to get to the end of what needs to happen. You know what I mean? Like how to get it working. So sometimes I come off like rushy, but I'm just trying to get to the results, like I want you guys to be able to get through whatever problem you're having, So.
And that's key. That's key. That support is incredible because you're not alone. As a student, as a former student, you're not alone. And that's one of the scary things about getting into this field, you know. But with taking your course and having you as a support right there, it's very helpful. And eventually you'll be standing up on your own and we won't be texting you.
And then you're going to be like, Isa, can you help me with this repair?
I see. Yeah, it comes full circle.
Sending you my broken boards. I mean, I have so many students now that are like my peers. I'm like, the iPhone 11 is having this problem. Have you worked on this yet?
We're gonna get there.
It's a
iPhone 11.
community. It's a community. You know, it doesn't like nobody. There's no source of information. It's all about us working together and sharing information.
Yes.
So you guys are just as valuable when it, I mean, I'm no bigger than my student who's been doing this for years, and you know, I'm just like them, they're just like me, and now we're peers and helping each other, you know. So all right, well, thank you, Isa. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the recording, and to all of you out there that are watching, don't wait, stop waiting, and there's never a better time than now. You'll never be ready. So all right, bye-bye.